This is Iran, where freedom does not exist, where they shoot people for protesting, they kill women for not wearing a hijab. And this has been going on since 1979. But today, something is happening. The Iranian people are fighting back and they're asking for
King Reza Pahlavi, our latest exiled prince, who is not prince no more, who is our king, King Reza Pahlavi.
Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh, yo, what the fuck?
But as expected, the leftist Antifa turned up and they tried to shut it down.
These guys are killing Iranians in Iran, and these guys are supporting them. Supporting Palestine equal with supporting Hamas. Supporting Hamas equal with supporting IRGC. Now, tell me, who's fucking wrong, huh?
They called the Iranians Nazis. That's what they called them.
They called you guys Nazis.
They called them Nazis when they
For
got
what?
past. For nothing, because
Call
they're celebrating.
us anything you want.
Crazy.
Call us whatever you want. We are gonna take Iran free from mullahs.
That's it.
Fuck Palestine. Fuck Hamas.
You are listening to
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show. As you already know, this is not a regular broadcast. This is the Baraka Show coming to you live from Greater Manchester, United Kingdom. Folks, there's a lot of conversation that we need to have, and it's important that we bring in people who have the knowledge, who have the information, the data, the not just the data itself, but the emotions to tell us how it is in Iran. There's a lot of people sharing their opinions on Twitter. There's a lot of people saying, hey, this is becoming a new thing, a new Iraq war, or this is becoming a Bibi Netanyahu war. This is, Trump has lost control. All this stuff that's throwing around. But we are forgetting the reason why we're talking about this in the first place, and that is the Iranian people want freedom. Let's not forget about that, folks. The Iranian people want freedom, and it's important that we bring in Iranian people themselves to tell us what they really want in their country. And that's why my guest today is one of the one guy who really fascinating guy I got to meet in the last 2 months. Really got to force relationship with this person. Really phenomenal person, I have to say. Very patriotic about his nation. Very putting his life on the line, I have to say, being in Britain and also talking about, Iran and knowing that the Islamists will come for him. It's just phenomenal. And the fact that this guy has put everything aside and just went all into wanting freedom for his people and his country is important we talk to him. Thank you so much. And that person goes by the name of Aaron. Aaron, talk to me. How are you, bro?
How you doing, brother? Hi, everybody. This is Alan Jah. I'm honored to be on this sweet brother. He's been amazing. He's been incredible. And not just because that he's been covering the Iranian protests and helping us to be the voice for the voices of the Iranians. He's an amazing and an incredible journalist who speaks his mind, who puts the real word and without any false information, puts out the reality of the life that we are living these days, specifically in Britain. Thank you for having me, everybody. And Barak, let's go. I'm with you. We're going to be up as long as we go.
Yeah, so Aaron told me saying, hey, he's ready to go for as long as we can, as long as we want. So can we really test Aaron today? Is he ready for the Baraka energy? I don't think so. But Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. Let's get to this.
Let's go.
Now, first, I want to get to know you better.
Yes.
Almost every single time when we talk, it's more about what's going on in Iran, which is extremely important, of course, which is the reason why we got to meet in the first place. But I also want to know who you are, what do you do, and how did you get yourself in this place to the point where you said enough is enough. 47 years of this regime, finally, I'm putting my life on the line and I'm going all in. So who are you, bro?
To be honest, first of all, I am only a person who would do anything to save his country, just like my great ancestors did 260 years ago.
Right.
Me, Hannah. I am from the same bloodline who has tried to keep the sovereignty and prosperity of the Iranian nation for a really long time. And coming from a lineage that we've had warriors who stood up against any invaders towards Persian Gulf, from the Dutch, from the Spanish, from the Portuguese to anybody else, all the way to the Islamist nations that tried to invade the Persian Gulf, and to this day trying to change the name of our Gulf to Arabian Gulf, which will never happen. And it's what I am doing now. It doesn't go back just for about a few months ago or just even a few years ago. It's carved in my family's bloodline. The IRGC has already taken more than 3 members of my family just since the revolution, after the revolution in 1979, which 3 of my uncles lost their lives, who got basically sold to the IRGC as they were the patriotic people who loved their country, who loved our nation, and they were the supporters of the monarch for his secular regime. However, the leftists and the Mujahideens, they helped the IRGC to find them and executed them. They were as young as under 20, and the oldest was 23. And unfortunately, a lot of people who think we are fighting a faith is not necessarily a faith that we are fighting. We are only fighting a regime that's using the name of the faith of 1 billion people in the world to suppress and silence and massacre the people of Iran. That's from the lineage I would have to say that I'm from, and how it's not started from just a while back. However, when I was a kid and I was in Iran, unfortunately, I was too young and I was too small and I had no power in me to fight this regime. Even though starting at school, I was always against the idea that we were forced to pray. We were forced to memorize Quran. We were forced to remember the name of heroes and leaders of Arab nations as our own, which as a Persian, it's a no-no, it's a can't. And I am lucky enough to have a father who taught me from a really young age, because he was also a political activist. He also had to flee the country after the revolution, because with the people coming to power, couldn't have people like my dad, who was not on their side, who was not an Islamist, who wanted to force women into hijab, who wanted to ruin the country. And being from a grandpa who helped the women of the south of Iran to not be forced to have hijabs again, which I'm talking about 60 to 70 odd years ago, that with the power of his pen, instead of using swords or guns, as the south of Iran was still really conservative towards the Islamist people who were still ruling. With the power of his pen, he managed to free the women of the south of Iran from being forced to have hijabs. And years and years, the women of the south were free as they were once 1,000 years ago in the ancient Persia, until all the way in 1979, when the revolution, unfortunately, and this shameful propaganda of the few governments like France and back in the day UK tried to overthrow them and used these Islamists like Khomeini to get on top of the government and be on power. Where I would like to start with Khomeini, who is Ayatollah Khomeini. I would like to start talking about him with this. Ayatollah Khamenei, in his book of Risala, which is the book of guidance for his followers, says it that if you have any physical intimacy with children down to 12 or 11 years old, if they're not as happy with it and you're just using your body to rub against the child, in his mind and his book of Rasala, it is halal and it is okay.
Bro.
Secondly, Ayatollah Khamenei's book of Rasala also has that if a girl or a female is a prisoner for any reason, from adultery, from saying no to their imam in school and refusing to pray, for having their hair out, and that is exactly the reason for the first time you see my hair out and down today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. True. No way. Never seen it out.
Hair. Yes, I've never had it, but today I needed to have it open.
Sick.
And the reason that a girl is arrested and is going to be executed, in Ayatollah Khomeini's book of Risala, it is a must to R-word, you know what I'm going to say it, to rape a girl who they might think is not a virgin before execution. So it'll definitely stop the soul of that female from ever reaching heaven and will only go deceased to hell.
Yeah.
It's again, in the
this
book of Risala, Ayatollah Khomeini.
Now remind me of this. What is this book of Risala is? Just remind me how the notion of it.
Every imam, every sheikh, by the orders of Islam, because they try to keep their followers updated, especially the Shi'i Muslims. It doesn't matter. They have different imams who have the book of Risalas. For example, in Saudi, they have their own imams and they have a few book of Risalas to kind of...
And what is Risala?
Risala means how the way to reach the God in the proper way.
And in his book...
Pardon?
And in his book, he mentioned that you have to do that certain thing to a young girl so she doesn't go to heaven. What kind of Risala is that?
That's Ayatollah Khomeini's.
That is
Risala.
insane. All
You
right.
think that's bad?
Go on, talk to me, bro. You got the platform today, all right? You got the platform. Talk to me. I mean, I don't like hearing this stuff because, I mean...
This is how people to remember Ayatollah Khomeini. Because why? Because when I was a kid and so many other Iranians, so many other children, my age, younger, older, we were forced heavily to believe that Ayatollah Khomeini, the most heinous man on the planet, was God. This is what they were trying to make us believe. Ayatollah Khomeini next to Ayatollah Khamenei, which both are now gladly are kaput and done. In the book of Risala of somebody like Khomeini, you are allowed to marry a kid up to the age of 9. The youngest person in a specific island and all its tyrannical and horrible stuff that happened, the youngest victim in that island is still older by 4 to 5 years than a girl who's 9 and is allowed to be married and wedded to an old guy in his 40s and 50s. That is allowed not by just the orders of the prophets of this person, Ayatollah Khomeini, but Ayatollah Khomeini has made sure that people will go by his Risala. That's why when females are imprisoned for any reason, especially who are arrested by the morality police,
Yeah.
we Iranians know those girls will never go out of that station, of that police station, normal again. You cannot find a girl or a female in the history of morality police that has been arrested by the morality police and actually came out without any traumas, without any PTSD, without any complex PTSD, without any physical harm would usually happen. That is the first case. That's why, if you remember, no, wait, I think I have not. I told you about the time that
your friend
heard-
was it? Say it again.
I think if you remember the time that I told you about in one of our interviews, that I told you about the time I intervened with two police officers,
with two police officers trying to arrest a young girl. Yes, tell me more about that story for the viewers. Because it's relevant to what you just mentioned.
18 or 19 years old. Gladly, the way I had to grow up was I'm an athlete. I used to be a football player and Wing Chun MMA artist. I was a fighter. And I always had to be able to protect myself with not being a Muslim in Iran or in Kuwait or any country that I was living. And we were always in danger because we were not a part of the Shi'i community. And the day that it happened, we already knew what happens to girls for years. And on that day, it was the only time that I could find myself in a position physically strong enough to at least fight two officers, IRGC police officers, and help this girl to be free. Usually, the morality police are with one, if not two vans, and they have like a few stations on the road, and they have also a police on a bike and the sergeant who's coming with the normal police car instead of the van.
Yeah.
The incident that happened that day, I think me and the girl was so lucky that these two morality polices were actually going from a station to another, and they were not even on the call, or they were not even cruising anywhere for like as a duty. They were not on duty at all. And they found this girl who happened to have her hair out and not really much of a hijab on her hair, and nor her arms. Like, if you're a girl and your hand is showing up to here, this is a sin. You must be punished. And unfortunately, that's how she was walking outside. And as they stopped, I was lucky enough to see it happening and seeing these two stopping and cornering her towards the wall with her. I mean, she was not older than 16, maybe not 17, maybe not 15, 16, I can say. And basically a schoolgirl. And they tried to like detain her by taking her to the morality police station. I could not have that on my conscience, especially because in that moment, it was not a whole van, and it wasn't like at least 10, 15 people there. And it was only two. And I could see it in myself that I can physically risk it. Who cares if I get shot? I don't care. And I had to risk it, and I did. Gladly enough, I could spar one of them down with my shoulder, and the other one, I could just grab him by the face, and then I can put him down the other way. And I was even lucky that the girl could run. Because if she didn't run, God knows what would have happened to her. If you do that to a morality police, and you get caught after what I did to the morality police, you wouldn't have this life right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're done. Now, I want to show you a video real quick about this morality police for people who are just watching and thinking, hey, what is this morality police for real? Now, I want to show you this video of a young girl. I believe she looked like she was probably 9 or 10 years old. And she was dancing in the street of Tehran. And I want to show you this. And here's how the morality police... I mean, look at the dance. Beautiful dance, I have to say. But apparently, no. You can't do a dance here. But
she's amazing.
Just look at this. Now, let me play this. So dancing is a red line over there. Could you?
She's like 7, 8.
Yeah.
She's
A good
allowed
dance, I have
be
to say. I don't know how this is not allowed.
like let's just say she's 7. Let's just say she's 7. I could be wrong. Let me be clear. I could be wrong, but from how she looks, she could be 7, maybe 8.
Right.
The same woman who came there to stop her, okay?
Yeah.
The same one with a 10 on her face
Yeah.
who came to stop her is the same woman who is okay, fully okay, with the same girl, little girl, to be married at the age of 10.
So it's not just
What?
men then.
Dance.
So it looks like it's not just men. How do other women think this is okay though? I'm always. How do you convince another woman to oppress young little girls like this? It's like
by taking everything away from that woman and making her feel like she is a nothing without the will of Ayatollah, and making her believe she is a nothing without the will of their husband that the Quran is telling them to be, they will psychologically, unconsciously, I have to say, become so revengeful towards the people they never know, because they have never lived a life that they could dance freely because their father would beat the hell out of them. They were never allowed to be free enough to not be forced to pray every day. So now when they've grown up and they did not live a life of a young girl who was free, who could brush her hair, who could play makeup with her mom, with her friends, when somebody like that grows up, becomes the woman who is a morality police officer who comes and tells a 7-year-old not to dance, but hey, you're allowed to get married when you're 10, when you're 9. This is the psychological warfare that has been put on the Iranian people for the past 40 years. And it's even more shameful, if I'm honest, from the liberals, feminists, Democrat fighters who want to be a voice for women, and yet you get to see feminists and the new trendy justice warriors come up and say, "Oh, we're stand with the IRGC."
yeah.
They are the same
insane.
who have never came out to talk about what's happening and what the girls are going through. I'll give you another story, and it's way more personal, which, you know what, I have to say this.
Go on.
At the age of 12 or 13, if I think of I was, that's when I became a feminist. But the feminism that we had to become was not the feminism of like, oh, my latte should be not as milky as this much latte with that much milky with a vegan milk or coconut milk.
Yeah.
No.
The real feminist type, yeah.
Real feminism. I
Yeah.
am from the grandfather who freed the women of Iran from the south not to be forced to have their hijabs again. You cannot tell me what is a feminist. Barak, I do not mean you. You know what I mean.
No,
You know who I
of
mean.
course, of course, bro. I like your passion. Go ahead. Even me, yes. You mean me too, yeah.
You're a badass, and I have so much respect for you. You have done so much for the freedom of women, real freedom of women that I've not seen a lot of feminists do.
Yeah, a lot of feminists. Go on.
I want this for the feminists and the liberals who think they are fighting somebody like Greta Thunberg. I don't know. She sounds like
Yeah.
Thor's hammer's name. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg, yeah.
Greta, thank you so much. She shared a number, 736, 734 something, members that have been hit by the USA troops. I have to tell you people that with that one post, it made it clear that she's one of the biggest supporters of the IRGC and one of their pawns in the West and in Europe. Because the number that she put out, the numbers of the IRGC members who became eliminated by the help of the rescue mission of the USA and the IDF troops. She knew the exact number of the IRGC members being hit and eliminated. She never said a word of Niko Shakarami, who was 16 years old, who was raped, who was molested, who was broken, and who was thrown off of a 4-story building so they could make it look like a suicide. Greta Thunberg, Fringberg, Cloudberg, Runberg, you never spoke about Nika. Shame on you.
Yeah.
But you wanted to have some flotilla and tacos and get on a boat and go to Palestine.
Yeah.
But you never spoke about the Iranian woman. Yet, you changed it straight away to the climate. And the moment President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu started the rescue mission towards the Iranians, y'all started to bark again.
Yeah.
Just because the people you hate have finally stood up to the most hyenas and to the most horrible, to the most dictatorist regime that I have ever seen in my life and in history. Hitler was not as fucked up and bad. Sorry for my profanity. Hitler was not as bad and it's not as horrible as Khamenei was. And thank you to Mr. Trump for making this guy kaput. You have no idea, Barack, that after so many years, there's 90 million people in Iran,
Right.
Iranian, from
Yeah.
every ethnicity, every nation, and there's more than 15 to 20 million people outside because we are exiled. More than 120 million people around the world. We're going to be celebrating Persian's New Year. It's not much of a celebration. We're just going to say Happy New Persian Year. We're not going to celebrate it.
Yeah, it meant to be celebrated
For the
during this
first
month,
time,
yeah.
we're going to have this moment of an ancient Persian history without the face of this Ayatollah Supreme rat to come on the TV and
yeah.
start lecturing everybody with the book of Quran that is not even Iranian, instead of the religion and the faith that belongs from the Zoroastrians to 3,500 years ago in ancient Persia from Zoroastrianism. We are happy. We are happy that this rat is gone. You will see the videos that are holding the IRGC flags. We call it the crab, C-R-A-B, crab logo flag. We don't call it the Iran flag. Most of these people who are standing with the IRGC, because I think that's ours. Yes, that's the lion and sun. This is us.
That's yours, bro. That's yours. Don't worry.
Thank you.
These are the Iranian people actually having. I think this looks like it's the new celebration, not just the celebration the country is free, but it's the New Year celebration, I guess.
Yeah, it's also the New Year. Yes,
it's bundled into one.
Yes, and we've been trying to show to the people of the world that this is not necessarily only a celebration. This is a celebration of the death of so many murderers who have put our loved ones 6 feet under.
Yeah.
However, we are celebrating it not because we are happy, but because trying to show our dance wall, just like the Hakkas from New Zealand.
Yeah.
We are showing our dance
I like those guys. Yeah.
Oh, I love those guys, man. And they even did a haka for us in New Zealand. And I shout out to them. Big shout out to the people in New Zealand who did a haka for Iranian people.
Yeah, haka is a very, I don't know, but I just, it's just a way to, I just like the way they go around it. It's just, how can you not? How can you freaking not?
They are not allowing what happened to Iran to happen to New Zealand. And I am so proud of them, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what happened to Iran happen to UK, which is slowly happening if we're honest with each other.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
New Zealand people, but
yeah, the New Zealand they are very tough in they've seen it ahead of time and they're trying to stop it. I think the UK is capitulating into it. They're giving a little mile and I think that's what the Islamists like. You know, you tolerate a little bit, and the next minute you know they are in your street, declaring victory, and you're thinking, "Hey, what happened?"
We have the power. No, honey, you ain't gonna know nothing. You ain't gonna know nothing. There's no power.
No,
this is
no.
a Christian country, and you
That's
came
right.
here. I came as a Persian. I came to England as a Persian, and I knew it's a Christian country. And to this day, I'm proud that this country have hosted me and made me feel like home. Because in Iran, I couldn't be me. In Iran, I will get in jail for having my hair like this.
Damn.
In Iran, you cannot be free for nothing. As long as you just sit in your own little corner, you never talk about the religion, you never talk about the freakery of the government, you never talk about the people that are being dead and being killed and being massacred by the government, you can be okay and you can be free. As long as you take sides with the IRGC, you can be good, you can be okay.
Yeah.
And these are the reasons that I'm happy and I am honored that the country of England, the beautiful place like Britain, has welcomed me for so many years and made me feel home and made me feel safe. Even though lately, with all these threats and all these Nazilamists that I'm going to call them, I'm not going to call them Islamists, they're Nazilamists. They're not real Muslims. Real Muslim people, they don't do this. They go about their lives. They live an honest, dignityful life. They don't go about around destroying other people's lives.
Yeah, true.
And
yeah, I stand on that too.
Country that me and you the freedom to be able to sit down right here and talk about it on YouTube. Because if we were doing it in Iran, done. We couldn't have stayed.
Yeah, you're gone.
And
you're
so
gone.
many
No, you're not gonna stay. They'll get rid of you in a way where you will not exist anymore.
In a blink of an eye, just like the football players, the national football players of Iran, who went to Australia for the games, and few of them gladly, few of them could manage to run away from the hotel and become refugees and seek asylum in Australian's government. However, the rest of them had their families kidnapped and threatened to be
return.
done and be down the ground if they don't go back to Iran.
Is that why some of them said, "Hey, I love my country. I am returning"? Is that why? Maybe it could be why.
Yeah, because their family, Barack, their family was kidnapped, but their family was like, okay, you don't come back. You come back to see the dead families. Now we see if you're gonna stay.
Yeah, man, that's
That's
very.
why.
That is insane. The manipulation and that. Of course, they're gonna go back there. Do you know what I mean? Anybody would. Like, imagine, especially some of them might even have kids. Some of them might even have husbands. Bro, there's a lot of, because they only, obviously, you know, as a footballer, you don't go with your whole family to go play a game. So everybody's back home. So if they're telling you, hey, everyone's gonna die, bro, you're probably gonna return. I mean, I would. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Iran is a better place. That's why they're returning. Really? Really?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right. Now talk to me about this war. You are calling it a rescue mission. A lot of people are calling it a rescue mission. The Trump administration don't want to call it a war. Israel has this. Say it again.
You mean the one that somebody like Biden to keep on power and keep destroying lives on American people? Did you know Biden and Barack Obama sent and deported more people than Trump has ever did?
Yeah. We know that. You know, Trump. Obama has more deportation than Trump so far.
Exactly, and they are the same people who are trying to call this rescue mission a war. It's no war, man. Some people are trying to use the name of like, oh, the most worst people in the history are attacking Iran. You are the same person who's saying this. You are the same person who was silent and quiet and said not a single word when the IRGC was silencing and was killing and was massacring Iranians. Because it'll go down in our history forever and ever. The January of 2026.
Yeah.
It's not just the January 2026 for Iranians. It will be forever known as the bloody January of 2026.
Yeah. I mean,
more than 47,000 people have been massacred by GC and their hired militias. And you think this is war? No.
Yeah. If it's war, then the war started 40 years ago.
Exactly.
If it's
We
war,
have
then it started long time ago.
a long time ago, before we were born,
Hmm.
before I was born, and my father had to pay the price for wanting a free Iran off the IRGC.
Now, give me more
These
updates
days,
on this rescue mission. How are
yeah,
we? How far are we? Where are we? Is there any sort of
I'll,
indication that there's going to be a success in this? How quickly?
I'll give you some good news. I'll give you some good news on that one. I'll give you some good news on that one. Where is it? The confirmed, eliminated, I don't really like to call them leaders of IRGC. I'd rather call them rats of IRGC. And if you're an Arzashi and you're seeing this, your rat supreme leader is kaput.
You're gonna get them
I'll
annoyed
read
now.
eliminated leaders, and I'll tell you a few background of each one of them. Somebody like you know what? I'll send you this post. You can like even share it as well.
Yeah. go.
Let me do my back. Copy the link. Let's go. Here we got you. Not there. Instagram. Here we got you. Put the link up. All right.
Yeah.
Which you can go to everybody here as well. And here we go. The people who the first news is Lari Jani.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
That's the IRGC military leaders, right?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And oh my God, how many people he killed.
Larijani.
Yes, he was.
I actually didn't believe
Oh
it.
my
You know, he was going to die this early. I thought he was gonna ride it out to the very end. He was more vocal
We were
online.
waiting for it so much. We were waiting for it so much. There's the picture. You can get to see it now. Right. Lori Johnny is dead. What's the other one's called? Ghulam Reza Soleimani.
So here's the image here for the people who are watching this.
He is
So
dead.
you can see here.
Ali Shamkhani is the reason more than 3,000 people got executed and got thrown off the roofs of the universities. He's one of those people. Somebody like Muhammad Pakpur, Saleh Asadi, Muhammad Shirzadi, these leaders, these hyenas, these dogs that you can like even show the picture clearly. These are the leaders that the IRGC has lost so far during this rescue mission. Now, people are saying, hey, what about civilians? I got a good call from inside Iran because, as I said, 2 minutes for 50 pounds, 5 minutes for 100 pounds. So just you can talk.
Yeah, no, just tell the people. No, before you get into the news, just tell them how much you had to spend to talk to people now in Iran. Go ahead.
What? They are selling 1 gigabyte for 25 quid, just for you to be able to like use it for anything. Now, £1 is equal to almost 200,000 toman.
Yeah.
So 25 pounds is almost
a million.
around million toman. To here, 25, it might not be much for 2 minutes. 50 might not be much for 4 or 5 minutes. But in Iran, that's more than somebody's freaking wages in a week. And that's how we're trying to even find contact, because they have the fully blackout the country, and it doesn't matter what SIM card you're on, how you want to call them, you will not be able to get through, except if they use those lines and pay for it, whatever, and be able to try to give you a call. And when they do, we are so worried and we're so stressed that we don't say names of the street, we don't say home or house or garden or whatever. We don't say places. We just say, okay, you're okay, you're alive, you're okay, you're alive. Okay, cool. Is everybody okay? Is everybody alive? Cool. Now, the funniest part, you know what? I need to say this. Because people of the world really need to hear something like this, okay? The people who are against Trump and against IDF and Netanyahu are using this no to war, no to war. I didn't know what's going on, but no to war. I stand with the IRGC while holding the picture of the supreme rat, Ayatollah Khamenei, who kills and killed so many of Iranians. Here, man, listen to this, man. We trust the precision of the troops to a point that you will see Iranian videos that are sitting off the rooftops at nights, hills around the city, just to shake on the beer and say cheers while being hidden from the IRGC forces. Meanwhile, literally waiting for the missiles to be hit to the targets, because we know they are trying to get the biggest and most dangerous targets who are the members of the IRGC away. There are videos that the guy who's literally recording it, hey guys, look at this cop car, look at this cop car, look at this cop car. Same time, get the target and the whole car is gone. The same thing happened when this Basiji militia, this Basiji militia was standing on his tent next to a tent. Next to him was a bus, and next to him was his own motorcycle, and in front of him was a car. When he got hit, the bike didn't even fall. The motorcycle didn't even fall. The bus was okay, had a few of his glasses broken, but the bus was okay, the civilians was okay. The car had the glass broken, but the civilian inside the car was okay, except the Basiji militia rat who was standing next to that tent. He went kaput.
So you're telling me the precision is that clean that it hits?
It's so clean, it's scary. I had
Wow.
a friend of mine.
This bullet was that is insane. Well, go ahead.
It's crazy, man. Like the way that they target these, that's why you will see when they were trying to say, oh, there are too many people who want the IRGC to stay. You saw, if you had seen the videos, you would notice that the high-ranked IRGC members holding a few kids in their arms, and they were not walking around without a kid in their hand. You will not see them to walk around without having two kids, two guys, two girls, whatever they can, as the human shield to walk with them.
Wait, right now that's what they're doing?
That's what they're doing. When they come to public, they have so many kids, specifically kids, to be around them. So if the USA troops are trying to target them, this is what you have to hear. When they are having these kids as shields in their arms, US troops are delaying the target hits. But then I get some foo-foo hair, funky motherfucker come up and tell me, hey, do you know the pedos want your country's oil? You're the same clan who were silent and didn't say a word when they were raping the Iranian girls in the fucking prisons and all the hospitals. In Kahrizak, where more than 2,000 women got raped, got molested, got killed by the last shot after being raped. Yes, you, feminist person, I want you to hear this. With what they did to the women in Kahrizak, after many people, all these militias, the Islamist militias hired by the IRGC, raped them, gang raped them, molested them, and afterwards, to remove the traces, they removed the wombs and the placentas of the women's bodies, just so they can remove and they can hide the evidence. Afterwards, they burned their bodies. But I didn't hear nothing from none of you. Not a single one of you.
Why do you think they're so vocal? Why do you think they're so against Israel and US striking on the people who have been pouring a lot of pain, horror towards the Iranian people?
That their sugar daddy is no longer able to fund them.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is so many, even just like that little twinkling thing called Greta Warburg.
Right, yeah.
They're all pawns of the IRGC being funded by the IRGC. Hezbollah funded by the IRGC. Kurdish separatists funded by the IRGC. Hamas funded by the IRGC. Al-Qaeda funded by the IRGC. Husseinians and Habashiyuns in Pakistan and Iraq and Syria funded by the IRGC. The people who put bombs in Manchester, in London, funded by the IRGC. The people who go around from synagogues, from churches, from just town halls, from a Christmas market, and they try to run people over, they are funded by the IRGC. And that's what I mean, why they're afraid. Because this left their agenda, and they're trying to make everything look as if, ooh, everything is okay, and they shouldn't be afraid of the IRGC. They are just getting paid by the sponsors of the IRGC, who have been having sleeper cells in the UK, in the United States of America, in Canada, in France, in Spain, in Italy, in Sweden, in Norway, in Denmark, in Germany, in Japan, in Australia, in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like they
now more of the sleeper agents that IRGC has than anything else, because these sleeper agents, they have been taught how to make bombs, they have been taught how to make ammunition, they have been taught how to destroy crowds with the minimalist thing that they can find. These are the sleeper cells that the IRGC has been planting in the name of mass immigration towards so many countries in the world. We Iranians are not safe in the UK, Barak. We are not safe in the UK anymore. We Iranians of diaspora, we are not safe anymore. And not just us.
Yeah,
people in the West are not.
Yeah, I've seen some attacks on no more Iranian people carrying a flag. I think a couple happened in Manchester, I think 2 weeks ago, that I've seen, that I'm aware of. But I'm sure you know more on that side. Could you tell me more? Is there any more that has occurred that I don't know of?
You mean the fight that happened in the alley next to Sasha's hotel in Manchester?
Yeah, that's Sasha Hotel. I don't even know. That hotel needs to be closed, man. Hotel.
Tell me about it.
It definitely needs to be closed. Have you been?
That place is so funny. I don't know how it's even still alive and it's still hanging.
But go on.
We're gonna talk about that too. The people who were into that fight, we had all gathered to counter protest the no to war people. Because let me name somebody who's betraying the people of England so badly. Somebody called Zara Sultano, something, I think.
Zara Sultano.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Made up name. She came to Manchester in the name of democracy and then in the name of debates, and we want to hear the Iranian people's voices. And what they did was they let out tickets. Our compatriots, we had a few tickets, a few ladies and a few gentlemen, we had tickets, and we wanted to go and talk to them. And we wanted to find a solution because they were saying, hey, no to war. And we wanted to say, okay, no to war, cool. What do we do?
Yeah.
What do you think we should do?
Yeah, what's the solution?
However, on short, even though we had legal tickets from their own organization, they hired a few thugs and they used the church in vain to support the IRGC while hosting someone who's betraying England. And these people started hitting us physically, beating us physically. They were lucky enough that the cameras, they were not lucky enough, and the cameras caught them doing so. They started calling us fascists and Nazis.
Yeah, they always do. They always do. It's insane that the left always, the most violent type of individual who are calling over people fascist, Nazi and stuff.
Would you like to know why those people were not wearing masks and were not afraid of us Persians? Because they knew Persians are not violent hyenas like themselves.
Yeah.
It
was this in Manchester?
That was in Manchester, just behind Town Hall.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of aware of this group because they've violently dragged me out one time. Was one of them? They have violently dragged me out with my cameraman one time. I mean, not one time. Like, man,
Time.
how many times? How many times?
Oh, you're a fascist. They will call you a fascist. Trust me. I mean, if they've not
Oh
already.
yeah, I've been called out so many times, which is kind of dangerous because it's like because when you call somebody, because a fascist, when you know what a fascist is, and when you see what what they did in Italy, then obviously then you see Hitler and all the other people who follow suit. Very dangerous accusation to put on somebody's head. Because if somebody is really a fascist, that guy should be taken care of, meaning they should persecute or something needs to be done.
Exactly.
So if you're just
Exactly.
accusing somebody of being that, you're basically you're putting them a target on their head. And I don't
Exactly.
like it. Is you can't use that very easily. You can't just say, oh, fascist, Hitler, Nazi. Bro, there is that is a strong accusation, and these guys throw it so lightly, and it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. And
One of the women was, in her own words, that she's a proud member of Intifada.
there you
Do you know
go.
what I mean?
That's a Islamic way of that's something to do. Go on. That's
No,
something
I'm
to do a global war.
I'm just listening. Go on.
The way my interpretation is, the first Intifada happened in Gaza. I think with Israel and stuff, where multiple people got killed. And and if you're saying global Intifada, that means you wanna inflict pain not just to one nation but around the world, meaning at the same time. How would that look like? A global Intifada, how would that look like? While multiple people dying all over the world for a religious thing? Yeah, that's crazy. But go on. What's your interpretation of it?
There is around more, let's say 1 billion hundred. Let's just say above a billion Muslims in the world.
Mm.
I have many Muslims friends in my life that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, never this they had a single trouble with them.
Mm-hmm.
They never to the ones that I'm going to talk about this goodly. The ones who are still my friend, and they never once came up to me, hey, when are you going to convert to my religion?
Mm.
That's why they were still my friend.
Yeah.
Now, there is 1+ billion people in the world who are Muslim in different sectors of Islam, from Salafi, Sunni, Shi'i, Baha'i,
Yeah.
that they have troubles with each other. However, they're all Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
And the trouble is, more than 25% of this number happen to be extremists and Nazi-Islamists, which are not counted as a real Muslim, because a real Muslim is not going to go around destroy everybody else's life. Now, but
I mean,
say 25.
if
Go on.
true 25%, that is a big number. It's a big number.
Thank you.
That is over.
It's-
If obviously to your calculation there's approximately 2 point something billion Muslims. So if 20% of that, bro, you're seeing what, over 400 million. Nah, but obviously this is just an because there is a lot of people out there who are not counted as Muslims, or these are just figures. I don't know how these figures are collected, but there's a lot of people who are probably Muslims who are missed out. There's Muslims in around the world that we might, that might not be included in that. So I'll probably say the highest number is probably like 400 Muslims. 400
Real
million
Muslims are getting prosecuted in Iran for not being Shi'i Muslims. Like an IRGC, which is like, oh, we are the Shi'i government of the planet. We will conquer it all. They are the same people who are killing Sunni Muslims in Iran for being Sunni.
Yeah, exactly. So they kill each other. So now you tell me, why? Why? Like, why are they killing each other? Why? I mean, it's a very simple question. I know it's going to be, it's a very difficult one to answer, but why?
Yes, I can. The people from each sections that I even personally grew up with were people who prayed when they wanted to go to the mosque and they didn't go to the mosque when they didn't want to go to the mosque and they just prayed at home. They lived their lives. They tried not to lie. They tried not to take somebody's money, and they tried not to do anything, mess around with somebody else's wife or adultery or anything, as a good Muslim does. However, there is a great number of them who act like a Muslim, but they are not a Muslim, and they are giving a really bad name to the whole faith. This is something I have tried to fight my whole life, because there is also extremism on each side. And when someone who's had pain like I had, and my family was killed for refusing to convert to Islam, I try not to see Muslims doing it. I try to see the IRGC doing it in the name of that faith. Yeah. And there's a big difference and a big understanding in this situation, because many have asked me, "Hey, Aaron, come on, man, if they killed your uncles, you're going to do them all." Hey, no. This is not do them all. This is not eye for an eye. If I'm just going to do the same thing, then the whole planet is going to be kaput and gone and burning fire in 2 days. Then there's no point.
I always say that if the world was to go for eye for an eye, there will be nobody left.
Nobody will be left. Who's going to make our children? Nobody.
Somebody has to say, all right, okay, I'm not going to repeat what you just did. Somebody has to do it. Eye for an eye just goes... Go on.
We have to do it. If you don't, who's going to stand up for it? And the thing is, a lot of people are now afraid of being Islamophobes, even not knowing what is the word means. And the thing is, we Persians, we're not Islamophobes. Man, we don't fear it. Even before they attacked us 1400 years ago and all that stuff, we were not afraid. We were betrayed by someone called Salman the Persian, who created the whole religion for them. After their fights and invasions, one after the other, taking Persians as slaves, taking black people as slaves, taking Lebanese as slaves, taking Europeans as slaves. Brother man, the most slaves owned by people on the planet were not in the USA, were not in Europe, and were not in Asia. They were in the Middle East. And they were allowed, because
I think that some of it is still going on.
They still are. Man, there were... I am so sorry to be saying this. This is just embarrassing, but the truth needs to be said. Somali slaves in Kuwait. Senegalese slaves in Emirat. Slaves in Saudi. I am so sorry to say these words, but I have to say it.
It's still happening.
If I don't say it, these people are going to go unnoticed and not talked about. I can't have this unconscious.
Yeah.
Still slaves of Philippines and Singapore and Malaysia, in Bahrain, in Oman, in Dubai, in Saudi.
I mean, they use it for economic gains. That's how they can build so fast, so quick. I mean, I was doing a research here on how they build so many stadiums in all these countries is because they're using slaves to build these stadiums, and hundreds of slaves have died, and this is happening literally right now. Why do you think they're able to bring Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo to play, and all these players, and somehow all these pitches are being built? They built over 20, I think they built over 10 stadiums in 5 years. I mean, which country does that?
That is a lot of money.
And when you look into it, you see a lot of Indians, a lot of Pakistani slavery going on there. They lock them in, they take their passport, and they get them working. Like, get them work.
That's it. If they die, they die. And they're lucky, they can go back, and they will never go back to Saudi after that.
Yeah.
But these spoken matters that we don't talk about. And so many are being called out as an Islamophobe when they don't even know what's going on. Western country, I'm going to say it, the Western country, the most majority of the natives of the Western countries, they are even afraid to even say the word Islam, because they don't want their neighbors to call them Islamophobe, but they don't want their other friend to call them Islamophobe or lose their friends. They're not even allowed to talk. Where is the freedom of speech?
Yeah.
And we don't have it. We have so much. You know what? I got to tell you this. When Ayatollah Khamenei went kaput, I have a friend of mine, and he's a Palestinian, and you would be surprised that when he came to me and tried to contact me about it, was saying, Aaron, I just wanted to see you today and congratulate you for having that supreme rat Khomeini dead. Because now that he's dead, my people in Palestine are happy because we don't want Hamas. We don't want IRGC to keep funding Hamas. And thank God, alhamdulillah, that the Khamenei is kaput now. Inshallah, it's going to be a better place for you and for my people. And I turned around and told them, hey, the Iranian people and my people are your people, and your Palestinian people are my people. We have to be freed from the tyrannical regime that called themselves the ISIS and, the Hamasi and the Islamic nations. They're not even Muslims.
Yeah.
The true Palestinians, they are not the supporters of Hamas. They want them gone. And that's why you see a gentleman like him. He's like 19 years old only. And yet he's so talented and he's so acknowledgeable that he's lucky enough to have been able to run away from there. And he's studying politics now, as in his own words, in the UK. So we can finally be able to go back to Palestine when he's in a place that he can be a voice to free the Palestinians from the Islamists of Hamas. Not obviously the troubles of before and after is there, but when a Palestinian is telling me that we want to get rid of Hamas, as long as Hamas is there and the IRGC is helping Hamas, then Palestinians are going to be never thriving.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, nobody wants Hamas. Nobody wants any of these terrorist groups, Hezbollah, and all these guys, because I believe there is, I believe once this is me just being just looking at it and thinking, hey, I believe if nobody is there to attack or instigate anyone, there will be peace. That's it. There's always somebody needs to start something for violence to occur. And if that person is not around to do such a thing, everybody will be peaceful. Right now, I'm in my house, in my apartment, I'm peaceful until if somebody was to walk in and stop, then we're gonna fight. Same thing with you, right? But it's peaceful right now, and I would like it to be for it to be like this. And I think the same thing with Hamas. Once they get rid of Hamas and any other, it's not just Hamas. Maybe it could be just those rogue little group of violent teenagers who want to go out there and do some crazy stuff. Those lone wolf who instigate some. Yeah,
I can't blame them. They're just brainwashed from since childhood, man. Just like as I said, how they were trying to brainwash us as kids to believe some Ayatollah, like Khomeini, God. They are the same poor kids who are grown up, who are being raised by the Islamists who give them a Kalashnikov, who give them an AK-47 and praises them and beats the hell out of them until they say, oh, I will do this to the Yahud, I will do this to the Yahud. They were trying to do the same to us. But we are Persian. And we could not be indoctrinated and programmed as easy.
Yeah.
However, we've been trying to fight the fight, even for the Palestinian people. Even though when the Palestinians got interviews and they were asked about, hey, what do you think the IRGC is doing to people, to Iran? Man, in that interview, not a single Palestinian is sad about it. And they're like, well, if the government is telling you to be like this, you have to be like this, IRGC, good for you. And I'm like, whoa. You know what? You don't know what you're talking about. It's okay. Just like Jesus said, Father, forgive them for they not know what they say.
That's right.
I have to forgive them because they don't know.
Yeah.
They have been
don't know what they say. Yeah.
The bigger has to get changed, because if it doesn't, the bloodshed and eye for an eye keeps happening and happening and happening and happening.
Yeah.
Man, I have to say, at the moment, I have been in contact with the police because I've been threatened again and again and again in the past 2 months.
Really? Talk to me about that. Go on.
I've been in contact with the police, and unfortunately, even to my house, is under watch right now.
Why?
We had somebody coming to my.
Are you able to talk?
We had somebody.
Are you able to talk about this? Are you?
It's okay. It's okay. We had somebody come to my window like around 2 weeks ago, and started punching the window and started shouting and chanting Allahu Akbar.
Oh God, fucking hell.
And luckily, he was on his own and he couldn't do much shit. So,
Wait,
But
so he came there by himself. Oh my God, how
you just
desperate,
said,
man.
Man, they don't know what they're dealing with. I'm a
At
former
least
martial
come by.
artist with this
At least
MMA
bring
and
your
with this-
brother, man.
It is crazy. I did not want to contacted the police telling them, hey guys, I have people threatening me. They want to come and tell me, they've told me they know where I live and they want to do shit and stuff and they want to harm me. What am I going to do? I had to give in a statement and now my house is like under surveillance.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'd
I'm sorry for that, man. This is
Then to be like, say sorry than say, what is it? It's better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And even in our protests, we've had people who, in London on, was it Saturday? Sunday, was it? I think it was a Sunday if I'm not mistaken. Oh, in the day of Al-Quds rally that was banned.
oh yeah,
Yet, they,
yeah.
even though they were banned.
Yeah.
Al-Quds organization is basically IRGC, is literally, not basically, is literally IRGC. And when the Iranians tried to have a counter protest, they had somebody sitting in an Audi trying to run people down, and gladly he only could run one person down. He had like a broken leg. Nobody else was harmed. He's arrested already, thankfully. Man,
Damn.
we're not even safe in the place anymore.
Damn.
And we're trying to still fight it.
Yeah.
How are we going to go about it is to be more political and is to be more civil about it. And we've been trying. We don't want trouble. We've never wanted trouble. We
Yeah.
never wanted war. But we've been trying to get rescued for all these years. And I get to see so many people who now happen to be out of the blue. And I remember one of my friends who I had a few what are they called? Sober retreats, who go and get around in churches and meditate and pray and don't use any alcohol or anything or like any drugs or nothing. They just like naturally try to rise their livelihood. And yet, when the rescue mission of the Iranian people happened by the United States, he posted a video saying the pedophiles, I'm saying the word without accents purposely,
Yeah.
pedophiles are attacking Iranian people. And I was like, hey, Anthony, no. First of all, where were you when the IRGC was killing my people? I didn't see a single post by you. You were still dancing and having a good time in Thailand, which is good for you. But why do you want to get involved now?
Yeah, exactly.
And he started by saying, oh, well, the people who are going to that Epstein Island and do all this horrible stuff, they're attacking your country, man. You have to stand up for it. And I'm like, no. They're not attacking my country.
Yeah.
We have Iranians and the windows in their homes trying to record it. Hey, is there going to be a missile coming? Is there going to be a missile coming? I know. That place is one of the, for example, the Shiraz, the study is like a courthouse. And we literally, you get to people having in their windows weights recording the places that are police stations, that are courthouses, that are court stations for the IRGC, that are places like now in the schools, people have stopped sending or letting their kids go to school at the moment.
Yeah.
And they are trying to be aware with the noises of the drones, with the noises of the missiles, like, or anything.
Yeah.
So they can have their cameras ready and they can record it and say, hey, that was one of the IRGC bases. Yes. Thank you, BB. Thank you, Trump. Thank you. Hit them hard. This is how the Iranians are dealing with us.
So that's how the Iranian people are feeling in the underground. So it's not just the Western Iranians then.
I'll give you a personal one. A few days ago, I could get a call from my brother, and that was after 10 years of nothing. Nothing. Not my mom, not my father, nobody. Finally, my brother calls and he starts telling me, about the courthouse that was hit. And I'm like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, hey, bro, don't worry, man. We good. Even the bus next to the courthouse station, even the whole bus is okay. But it's the courthouse that is not okay anymore. Everybody else is fine. We're doing about the day. And I'm like, sweet, good. Are you going home? And he's like, yeah. But Tommy wants to talk to you. And he gives the phone to my other brother. Now, to my surprise, after 10 days of not hearing anything from them, and I started talking to the second brother, and I'm like, hey, are you okay? Please tell me you're okay. And he's like, hey, stop asking me if I'm okay or not. We're fine. Go play the ultimate game in FIFA. I need my icons and objectives to be done, man. Don't forget. Don't you forget. I don't got it, man. I can't play. He's a streamer, just to give you in the context. He's a streamer who plays FIFA.
Yeah. What PlayStation does he have? Don't tell me.
He plays PS5, and
tell him to play Call of Duty now. The game has been upgraded.
We play Call of Duty. We play Helldiver 2. We play Battlefield. They're really good at Battlefield, and I miss them, man. We can't play with them, and this is the reality of the Iranians inside. We are more afraid. Like every time that I talk to them, I'm like, hey, did the IRGC come to the house? Did the IRGC come to the house? And they're like, nah, man, don't worry about it. Nah, nobody's come yet. Just you be safe there. We're not worried about Trump. We're worried if the IRGC missiles is going to malfunction and hit a house. This is usually what happens. Now the thing is, the IRGC missiles do not hit inside Iranian soil and our people by mistake. No. They are doing it purposely. And then just to raise it as if, the US and the IDF did it. Just like the Mean Up School. We got to play the Mean Up School. The Mean Up School that we talked about with the girls.
Yeah. So let's play this. Yeah.
Let's play.
But United States has owned this, and they said that they did it.
No, that's not their news. You'll find out after you see the video.
All right, so let's find this. Mina, if we can pull it up. Is it a video that you sent me? Is it this video?
Sir.
Yes, video that you sent me. All right, cool. Let's play this. Hold on, 2 seconds. Let's switch the screen, shall we?
Take your time.
So here we are. Now,
that's the video.
It's about the Minop school. I've been watching this whole online fight between Owen Jones and Omi Jalili on X over the Minop girls' school. And I paid attention because I'm hearing very different things from people who actually live there. One of my longtime trusted followers finally got a slow VPN connection from her cousin in Minop. His niece was in that school and she was killed. And I want to share his account, not as a proof, obviously, in a courtroom, but as the reality of a family who buried their child. He says that building was never just a regular school. It used to be part of an IRGC base called Tipe Asif. Later, they turned it into a cheap, affordable school to make parents feel comfortable sending their kids there. Next to it, they turned another IRGC building into what they called a health clinic. Again, to calm people down. But according to him, inside that clinic, there were still 2 missile launchers left in place. On the roof of that school, they had what locals called a dakal. Basically, I guess what a dakal is a satellite dish or signal antenna. So even after they put children in the classrooms, the military signal equipment stayed active. Here's where it gets disturbing. There was another school right next door. That school wasn't hit. Only this one, the one with the dakal on the roof, and the IRGC history was destroyed. He also says that parents known in the town as the sepahis, the ones that are regime aligned, didn't send their children to school that day. To families on the ground, that doesn't feel like random tragedy. It feels like somebody knew. He was comparing it to what happened in Tehran with a hospital near the state TV infrastructure, the Seda Sima. Again, the same kind of antennas, the same pattern of putting sensitive equipment right next to civilians and then acting shocked when those places are targeted. From his point of view, as a grieving uncle, either a missile was launched from that health center and misfired onto the school, or the regime knowingly used a school full of girls as cover for military hardware and signals. In both cases, they see the regime as responsible, and he's begging for this to reach people with a platform to check satellite images, to look at the actual layout, the old base, the fake clinic with launchers, the dakal on the school roof, the untouched school next door. So when Owen Jones goes online and calls all of this insane false claims pushed by a pro-war British Iranian. He's not just dismissing Omi Jalali, he's dismissing this uncle in Minab whose niece never came home. This is exactly the problem many of us have with a certain Western left. They say they stand with the oppressed, but the minute Iranians or Jews or women or anyone else tell a story that doesn't fit their tidy narrative, suddenly we're hysterical, misinformed, or doing propaganda. Our dead become a debating point in their podcast war. I'm not asking you to blindly believe any government's version, not Washington's, not Tehran's, not Tel Aviv's. I'm asking you to at least listen when families inside Minab risk everything to send out messages through a weak VPN trying to explain why they think their daughters died. Listen, you don't have to agree with my politics or with Omid's. But if your politics require you to shout down the people who are actually burying their children, then maybe the problem isn't misinformation from Iranians. Maybe the problem is your ideology. Okay, please listen to this.
Yeah,
this is about
correct,
the Minab school.
correct.
I've been watching this whole...
Now talk to me. Wow. If that is
The
true,
first time- That is true. What she said is true.
but Washington has owned it now. Yes,
Which Washington?
they have owned it that they struck the missiles to the school. But I understand why they own it is because obviously if it's true, that means the IRGC was still using that place as a military base. That's why it was hit. Now they were not aware that this school had children were in there, so maybe IRGC were using the children as human shield.
Yeah.
It could be that, but we know for a fact that the missile, the Tomahawk missile, is the only owned by Americans, so it's the one that hit there, and the children were in there. IRGC were, according to her story, were using those children as,
Shields.
Yeah, shield, which is like, whoa, what the fuck?
That's not the first time. I'm not allowed to share this picture of this person, unfortunately, for their safeties of their family.
Yeah, please don't.
This human shield matter is not just in schools and such. They use their own members of IRGC's family members, like kids, children, when they are moving and transporting missiles across the country. I do in trucks. I do in heavy planes that basically are transport planes or like army transport planes. They literally make kids and families and women and children sit next to ballistic missiles when they're transporting them because they know USA will find out which planes they are and they will hit them. So they just use children inside the military plane so the US doesn't hit them.
Wow.
That's one thing.
Isn't that against international law though? Well, hitting children is against international law. Of course, now them using children as basically armors, that should be against international law when it comes to rule of war, right?
Unfortunately, the same people who...
But then obviously...
Go on.
But then obviously, Iran is known as obviously a rogue nation, and a rogue nation means a nation that has separated itself from the rules and the norms of being a nation. So that means they don't follow the so-called international law. So I'm assuming that they don't consider it as a rule of war since they don't follow it.
Admitted that they will even torture God, that they will torture even Allah if Allah comes down from the sky and talks to the IRGC members. That's what they believe. They will even torture Allah in their own words if Allah wants to be against them. Now, who do you think could be safe from them?
I mean, the whole theology stuff is very dangerous and wrong. I don't like when theology is used to get a, what you call it, of military objects or military ambition done. It's very wrong, because how do you know this is what your God wants? It's like, hey, because you doing that is you trying to manufacture consent from almost everyone who shares the same faith as you.
Yeah.
And it's so manipulative, and I don't like it. Even if it's used by Christians, I don't like it. If a Christian was to come out here and be like, hey, Jesus wants you to shoot that guy, I'm like, really? When?
Humanity. I don't fight for no religion.
Yeah.
If a
Exactly.
Christian is gonna do wrong, I will stand up to him. If a Muslim is gonna do wrong, I will stand up to him. If a Jew is gonna do wrong, I will stand up for him. If a Sikh is gonna do wrong, I will stand up for him. If an atheist is gonna do wrong, I will stand up to him. Anybody who's a human and wants to bully somebody else, I will stand up to them. That's the morale of my life. I don't care what that person is, what that person looks like, how strong or weak or whatever that is. If you bully somebody else, you gotta deal with me.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. As long as you don't bully anybody else, you live your life in peace and harmony, enjoy your life. If not, then you need to be taught a lesson.
Right. Now tell me about your struggle with fighting for the Iranian regime, against the Iranian regime, and wanting the freedom for the Iranian people. Now, this is a post here I'm going to read out. So,
Yeah.
it says the Iranian people only wanted to fight the regime, but now they are fighting the Islamic regime, the globalist left, the regime's fake opposition, CNN and ton of media, anti-Semitism, terrorists from the cult MEK, Kurdish separatists, Islamists, communists, US Democrats, Free Palestinian influencers. Man, and at the very end, very courageous. We will be victorious. The post reads at the very end. That's the
Yes,
post
sir.
I was reading. So talk to me. How is it like being fighting for the freedom of Iranian people from the regime? Well, that was only the objective, to only find out that, hey, you gotta go through this over 10 years. There's like over people who are joining arm, ready to fight you too. How is it like?
I feel proud because when I was a kid and I wanted to fight the regime as a kid, I couldn't. Now that I see more patriots, Iranian patriots, and not just Iranian patriots, as more days as goes on, and we are spreading the word of the truth and the reality of what's going on in Iran. More native in England, Canada, Japan, France,
Yeah.
Spain is working with they got somebody like Javier Bardem, that silly guy. In the US, you see more and more people from the Western. I'm not just gonna say West. Anyone who's not a Persian in any country in the globe. As soon as we are spreading the word of the reality of the Iranians and the government and its difference between the government and the Iranians, we have been seeing a noticeable amount of people joining us
Yeah,
and
correct.
standing next to us because they are realizing that what the Iranian people we have been fighting it's anything but for just Iranians. Because when this revolution happens, just like as I mentioned earlier on, the most hyenas sugar daddy of the planet is going to be gone. And I am so happy and I'm so proud that I can see so many people now that are standing up towards this, not Islam, but the Islamist ideology of having to invade everywhere and pour everybody under our control.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see it because they are giving a really, really bad name to so many amazing Muslim friends I've had and I have in my life.
Yeah, me too,
They
to
are
be fair, yeah.
from Bahrain, they are from Khuzestan, they're from our own towns in Iran. Just why am I even going to other countries? We have every ethnicity in Iran. We have Sunnis, Shi'is, Salafis, Baha'is. Baha'is are really treated harshly and get executed by the IRGC. Now, Baha'is are Muslims too, but then they get done by the IRGC. This is what we're trying to make the world to understand, that we are not fighting the religion, however, the regime, because it's an ongoing trouble that they are not leaving out anybody out of it.
Yeah.
And by the word of saying we are out to make the world one under the Khalifa, when the IRGC is kaput, all these little silly putus, like some funny guy, his name is what? Sneeko or something?
Yeah,
He just turned converted, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he just
Sneaky,
converted.
Sneeko something.
Sneaky. They've changed his name now. They call him Sneaky.
Let's just get.
Oh God. Oh, this internet beef, man, is fucking insane.
Oh, let it be, man. I mean, if Sneeko ever wants to talk to me about Iran with his funny little mustache,
Should I
bring
get him
him
on the
on,
show?
baby. Like,
Would you want to debate him?
I would love to debate him, and I'd like to see him bark while I give him logic.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get my team to be on that to get him on the show. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh God, these guys are funny. No, there's. Go on.
No. I'll wait for you. You first.
So there is a lot of people. I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of Americans who have been very vocal against the war. I don't know if you want to address this. I want to play this prominent guy who his name is Joe Kent, who resigned recently. He was the leader of the counterterrorism center in the U.S. He was on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson asked him if there was an imminent threat, and here's what he said So let me just bring this up, so we can both react to this as we're running out of time. Oh God, I wanted to be here for. I think you've outdo me. All right, I'll give it to you. You've outdo me. Okay, cause bro, I've been filming today since 8 o'clock. I've been filming the whole day. I've had interviews back and forth. So I had multiple people who been interviewing. And you are like the third person today. And also I made solo videos today. So these ring lights have been on since the start. And I can't go for longer than this, all right? Can't go for longer than this, folks.
Barack, I'm so proud of you. And I admire you even more than I am proud of you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got some red line lenses so you can help your mind with all these ring lights around you.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of the reasons
Oh yeah, true. Because sometimes, like, right now, because my head is actually my forehead is hurting, so my frontal cortex is hurting.
I can relate.
It could be maybe because the powerful lights are hitting on me, or I don't know. Could be that.
It can go all at once, brother.
Yeah, it could be that. But yeah, I think I got 20 minutes in me, bro. Say it again?
Yes, let's see the clip.
Yeah.
Listen, I said, I've always admired how resilient and how powerful and how determined you are.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's play this.
On the verge of getting a nuclear weapon.
No, they weren't, 3 weeks ago when this started, and they weren't in June either. I mean, the Iranians have had a religious ruling, a fatwa, against actually developing a nuclear weapon since 2004. That's been in place since 2004. That's available in the public sphere. But then also we had no intelligence to indicate that fatwa was being disobeyed or it was on the cusp of being lifted. The Iranian strategy, it's actually pretty pragmatic. The Iranians are obviously aware of what's taking place in their region, and their strategy was to not completely abandon their nuclear program because they saw what happened to Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. When he said, hey, I've got no more nukes, I'll do what you say, I'll give up my nukes.
And we gave him the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, we regime changed him, and he was executed by his own people in the most horrific way.
Oh, sodomized by a bayonet, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the lesson, I think, that the entire region took from that when Hillary Clinton...
Unfortunately, that is what the neocon, neoliberal warmongers, that's the lesson that they showed everyone in the region. And then conversely, the Iranians also knew that if they came out and said, okay, we've got a nuke, whether they were bluffing or not, Saddam Hussein, Iraq right next door. So they kind of had this...
And he hung, I think.
He was hung by his own people, after a bloody, war that's still essentially going on inside of Iraq. So the Iranians' position, when viewed from the lens of the region, was actually fairly pragmatic. They were preventing, themselves from developing a bomb, but they still wanted the ability. They wanted the ability to enrich. They wanted the ability to have some components so that they weren't completely stripped of it. And when we always assessed that they were either several months or a year, 2 years away from actually being able to develop a nuclear weapon. And that's not because the Iranians are stupid people. I think we can tell right now that the Iranians are anything but stupid. They had the ability, I think, that the brain power to actually develop one, or they could have simply traded a ton of oil with Pakistan or with someone else to actually get a nuclear weapon. They were not doing that. We had no intelligence to indicate that they were.
Thoughts? What's your thoughts on that, brother?
Many are calling Iranians naive and telling us that the government is going to be another Iraq, another Syria, another Afghanistan, another Libya. The big factor that they seem to be really forgetting is we, the nation of Iran, the Persians, the Iranian people from every color and ethnicity in Iran, from the south, north, west, and the east, we will never allow something as such happened to the other countries to happen to us. We have a leader. We have a great leader, the son of the late King of Kings, Aryameh, the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi.
Yeah.
We have a leader, and by his leadership, our land and our nation will thrive towards prosperity for a better nation, not just for us in Iran, but for a lot of more people around the world. With his leadership and the changes that will come to the regime, we will see a lot of Gulf countries, such as Dubai, such as Saudi or Kuwait or Oman or Emirates, especially also Turkey, they will lose a lot of tourism. They will lose a lot of business. And that's why they're really afraid. And that's why in the beginning, they were trying to stop the US and stop the idea from freeing and starting the rescue mission on the Iranian people. However, it's really noticeable and it's important to say that the IRGC started attacking and sending missiles to the same countries that were standing up for them. They've hit Kuwait, they've hit Turkey, they've hit Azerbaijan, they've hit Iraq, I think I said Iraq twice, they've hit Bahrain, Kuwait. And the funny part is, the only person who died in the Kuwait missile attacks in Kuwait was an Iranian 11-year-old girl who died by the IRGC missile in Kuwait.
So she's not even safe even outside Iran. It's crazy.
No.
It's crazy.
And they are now saying this is going to become a separate place and is going to get ruined, and Iran will be another stateless, destroyed, ruined nation. We have a king that we are calling upon. And the reason we are calling upon him is because a few other of like leftists and the Mujahideen, which are the complication or a mixture of the Marxists and the communists and the Islamists or Nazilamists, are trying to hijack our revolution. But let me make it clear.
Make it clear.
What? Last year, you know what? Let me make this clear for a lot of people. Last year, when the 12-day war happened with Iran and Israel, the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi had the phrase "Make Iran Great Again," which is MIGA. Now, the word originates actually from an ancient entity of Zoroastrian's belief. Now, MIGA actually comes from the word Magi or Magi, which is one of the entities of Zoroastrianism in the ancient Persian, which we still gladly have Zoroastrians still alive in Iran, a lot more in India, another story for another day. And the word Magi, or this entity, Magi, is the one who brings prosperity, wealth, and great future to the nation that he's taking care of. When that word MIGA came out to make Iran great again, I already knew that it's going to happen. It is going to take time, but it is surely 100% going to happen. There is going to be a political view of the fights, of the wars, of the missiles. Unfortunately, will be civilian casualties and collateral damage. However, for an Iranian who have lost 4 of his family members, just me, now imagine how many more out there are that are like me. We have already lost the blood. We have already shed the blood. We're not afraid of shedding a few more. Because if this revolution doesn't happen, which I bite my tongue because it is going to happen and our nation will be free, IRGC will massacre even more of numbers that World War II, World War One had combined. And I am so sure of this revolution taking place because if the plans were not made and Magi, the entity of Zoroastrianism, were not called upon again, I would have not been as sure. However, now with all these signs coming out more than one another, having so many more of these hyenas, members of the IRGC, targeted, kaput, eliminated one by one, their step is getting way much closer to a nation of Iran to become the first ever nation that may have been invaded by the Islamists 1400 years ago. Yet, we will also be the first nation to get rid of the Islamists. Muslims of Shi'i, Sunni, Baha'i, Salafi, any belief, as long as they're not Islamists, will always and forever be Persian and be a part of Iranian life, as long as they are not going to become Islamists. Iran is a country for people of the world. We love poetry, we love life, and we love food, and we love people. If you love everybody else, why would we be against any of you? And we had people who were afraid of like, oh, what if when the king comes back and he wants to take revenge from the Muslims? There is no revenge. There is no revenge. King, the late King Aryamer, the King of Kings, the Pahlavi II, he had even traveled to Mecca to show his respect towards his Muslim people in the country. Because before the 1979 happened,
But
the
what was
secular government, yeah?
no? Just quick questions. I'm just gonna play a while we're wrapping up here in the next 10-15 minutes. Let me just play
Yes,
a
sir.
little bit of let's just have a little bit balance here. Let me play what do you
Thank you.
call it? Let me play sneaky, yeah. Sneakers role. If I can let's try. So a quick question. Was Pahlavi II, was he a Muslim?
Who?
Was he a Muslim? Reza Pahlavi's dad, was he a Muslim?
His name is Muhammad Reza.
Yeah.
Muhammad is the name of Prophet Muhammad.
So he was a Muslim then.
Yeah. However, he was
Good.
a Muslim. He was a jihadist. He was not.
Oh yeah, so he was a normal Muslim, just just a peaceful Muslim. How obviously everybody should be, just a religious. Yeah, it was just a.
Who went about life. And
Yeah.
however, with the propaganda that was about it, many thought, oh, King Muhammad was a Pahlavi, Aryamer is against Muslims. He was like, what are you on about?
Yes.
I'm telling you, go to the mosque, enjoy your praise, and God bless you.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
you're the one to the church to go to the church in peace. This is Iran, to the secular country for everyone. Because one thing that the late Prince's father, the King of Kings, always tried to make sure was this. An Iranian there is not a single difference between two Iranians. If one is cleaning the streets and the other one is a prime minister of the country, I will shake their hands both in the same way and the same manner. There is no difference from anyone and no one, neither what you believe, what you do for work, what your life is, as long as you are peaceful and you are someone who wants to see the prosperity and the future for their own families and for their own countries, then everybody could be staying in peace as long as you don't go out of your way just to ruin somebody else's life because you think the belief they have goes against yours. This is something that we've been trying to fight.
Yeah. Right. So, because obviously, when I was reading the history of Mohammed Reza, he was Pahlavi. Obviously they mentioned that he was a Muslim. He used to go to Mecca, not just once, but he used to go to Mecca often, a lot of times, to go pray and stuff. And he had some statues and some Islamic symbols, and he's just a normal Muslim, right?
Because
I feel like the revolution happens because Ruhollah Khomeini who probably wanted him to be more like to push Islam in the country, just like the Saudis as had, and I think he started speaking out against him. Now there is a lot of people who are saying, and obviously, according to my research, it's true that there was a secret police that Mohammed Reza Pahlavi had that tortured and killed over some people are saying over 100,000 people, and others people are saying over 30,000. But this is just reporting. Respond to that.
I've seen
the
them.
secret police Savak.
The secret police Savak was the only secret police that, I will be honest, a lot of secret services destroy a lot of things. Savak was the one that was the opposite.
Really?
There was a few small numbers of people who were wrongfully arrested and went through being questioned. However, tortured the way. However, I will say what the tortures were. Tortures were mostly slapping you, or maximum, this is documented, maximum having your nails or such.
Bro, what you wanna say? Oh, maximum. Okay, nails. Ooh, that's painful. But yeah. But it's not as extreme as what the IRGCs are doing. Yeah, for sure. God.
Brother, man, IRGC has invented torture.
Yeah, they've got a new blueprint.
And I will tell you them before we wrap it up.
Yeah, for sure. But go ahead.
Wrong. Savak did wrong, as obviously any other organization can do wrong. The prior of it, however, 90% of the people that were arrested under the name of category of terrorism towards Iranian people and the country and the coup d'etat towards the Shah, it was 90% of them that the Savak had arrested. The other 10 were the affiliates of those 90%. Most of these people came to be Rafsanjani, became to be Ghalibaf, became to be, the picture I sent you from the eliminated ones?
Yeah.
Eliminated.
Those are the guys.
At least 4 to 5 of those people who have been eliminated were once caught by Savak.
Originated from that. From okay.
Terrorists that were trying to overthrow the Shah by the help of the Marxists and the leftists and the MEK and the Mujahideen.
Right. Now,
people say King was really brutal and King was really against everybody else. The thing is, 2 main assassinations that happened and occurred into Mohammad Reza Pahlavi's life.
Right.
The first, unfortunately, got hit by after he shot the king. He was shot down by the soldiers and he didn't make it. Gladly, the king made it. However, the second assassination, I think there were like 3 people that the late king, pardoned, gave all of them jobs, and one of them ended up in the parliament and affiliates with the government. 3 people will try to assassinate him, and the bullets literally went through his chin and his face. He pardoned them.
Damn.
And people like, oh, King did this, and he was against the separatists.
So
I ain't no king, but I'll tell you what.
But let's just.
I am against the separatists.
Yeah. So just few more stuff here. There is this Savak thing was created by. So go on. I'll wait for you.
I'll be in a second, as quick as I can.
Take your time, boss. Take your time. Hey, how you liking this stream, folks? The people who are watching right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We got my man Aaron in the live broadcast today, and you usually see him outside when in Manchester, but today we are inside, both of us, and we are still making and causing havoc across the nation, especially for the Islamists, for sure. Now, so this Savak was created and helped by the so the origin of it was, I don't want to actually enough of Slovak because their story is very, I think is I would say is one of the reasons why a lot of people kind of. I would say is one of the reasons why a lot of people. It's a thing that a lot of people used, especially in Iran around those time, to create and manufacture consent to topple the regime. I'll say that. Because its existence kind of gave a lot of... Because you only need one person to be tortured for somebody to say, hey, they tortured everyone. But since torture is being done, you just have to exaggerate the numbers. But now, I want to go back into Mohammed... what's his name? Mohammed Mossadegh. That name is very difficult.
Oh my God.
Because I was doing a documentary on this. We've done a whole huge documentary on this, and I would like your take before our publication, live on air, of course.
That's right.
Say it again.
A traitor is to the nation of Iran, to the people of Iran, to the king of Iran.
Wait, Mohammed Mossadegh was a traitor?
He was a traitor.
Go ahead, go on. Why?
He tried to make the coup d'etat against the king. And the problem is, he tried to nationalize the oil in the name of nationalizing the oil for the people of Iran. That's who he gave it to. Until this day, they're having it.
Who?
We're living in this country.
Wait, say that again.
Mossadegh
Yeah, you gave
was
them.
put by the same people who are still in this country. Don't put the IRGC and don't brand it, don't prescribe it as the terrorist organization.
So the British government.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we know a lot when it comes to regime change. If British and the CIA is not there, then it's not really a regime change, isn't it? British.
Exactly. But even more with front than the CIA in Iran. Because when Ayatollah Khomeini, when he was exiled in Paris, Khomeini had more than 500 bodyguards around the neighborhood that he was living in France, in Paris.
You mean Ruhollah Khomeini, the first guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cleric, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. France does a lot. Yeah, France treated him as like a president. France, they flew him in Air Force One. All these good stuff they gave. But you see, this is the thing. So he was exiled by Reza Pahlavi.
Yeah.
To Iraq first, and then to France. And then when he was in France, he made cassette tape, the tapes, and that. And then French people, and not the French people, maybe the Iranian French people, or maybe the French people, because obviously they protected him, right? He used to make clerics type of speech, recorded, and then those was smuggled into the country. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So basically, he was doing what Reza Shah Pahlavi right now is doing, but with the communication system that they had back then.
Yeah.
How come it grew so fast to the point where millions took it to the street and toppled Mohammed Reza Shah Pahlavi?
People of Iran, the misunderstanding of this is people of Iran are not the one who made the revolution happen in 1979. It was not the people. The fact is, the number of the protesters who were leftists, who were Islamists, and who were against the king were mainly from cleric families, from Mujahideen families, from Marxist families, from communist families, from peaceful communities who were basically in a dream of a community, a Russian nation, a communism nation to come and save their lives because they had nothing.
Yeah,
and those not even make it to 1 million. He hardly made it to 800,000. He hardly ever did. Ever. Like, that's the whole thing. And all these millions that came to the streets to topple the king, They were not millions.
But
So much of the media's archive have been deleted from the counter protests by the Iranians who were the supporters of the monarch in Tehran before the revolution took place. And all those archives have been deleted, have been removed, have been erased from history. So as much as they have been able to, they've tried to make it look like they had 200 videos of maybe maximum 10,000 people wanted to topple the king and wants the pedo, Nazilamist Imam Sheikh to come and become the leader of the country. Were so small in numbers.
But all right.
However,
Go on.
agendas and the people behind them were so powerful because, man, I'm telling you, MEK is a really powerful organization. They were funded by the Russians, they were funded by the KGB because they wanted to topple the king themselves before English gov came on, and it was like, hey, no, wait, if the Russians wanted, we would want it too.
Yeah, true. So the French manufactured the thing, yeah.
People did not topple the king at all. That's a lie. That's one of the biggest lies in history. It was the governments of the world who
the king,
made it happen.
but the king admitted though. He made a speech to the nation in when the revolution was 1979. He made a speech to the nation in 1977 or 78, and it was called Last Chance, where he begged the nation to give him another chance. So meaning admitting that the nation needed change. That was a few months before he took the flight to out the country.
The problem came on when the Saudis and the Arab nations with oil first said yes to King Pahlavi for the oil contracts because the king was saying, hey, look, we don't need to use dollars. We can, after the 1979 oil contract, we can change the oil contracts. We have to be the one who control it, not anybody else. You don't go to somebody's house and tell them what to do.
Yeah,
so nobody
correct.
can come to our house what to do.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest startings of the West's coup d'etat happening and planning for Iran because they were getting really afraid of the king. And they didn't want to pay him the oil money that was the oil money, and they wanted it a lot cheaper. And once he tried to say, okay, look, we're not going to go with the Reserve Bank and we will have our own currency. You come to our country, you get our oil with our currency. However, the Western governments like France and England were not having it. Somebody like Jimmy Carter was not having it. And they tried to topple the king, the Shah, the king of kings. And the reason for him to leave so early was he realized that even if he stays, he tries to use the army and kill as much as he can.
Which he did.
Come again?
Which he did. He did kill a lot of people. If you were to search up called Black Friday is called in my research, the reason why I'm throwing this at you is I just want to hear your feedback before our publication.
Which Black Friday?
So if you call Black Friday 1977, 79, 78, Black Friday, I think it was October, September, where thousands of people were killed by the police and the military. You can search it up.
They were the ones who were opposing the Islamic regime, not the king. They were the ones who were opposing the Islamic regime, not the king.
So the police just went out there and started shooting people, but without the king's or the prime minister's authority.
People in that time, the police didn't shoot people. However, the Marxists and the communists and the Mujahideen became so powerful, and they were so armed by the people who were behind them and were funding them, that they started acting like the police and started killing people. And that's why the problem started with the Islamists.
Wait, hold on. Wait, yo, this is because we've fact checked this on every single publication, right? Most of our thing is coming from the White House source, right? Because the White House has this heavily documented. Yes, where the White House can be biased maybe almost all the time. Obviously, it's always better for them to look good than anybody else looking good in that document, in that publication. But our sources, the White House itself, press speech or press release, they do that all the time. So you're saying that the people who got killed in Black Friday, it's literally called Black Friday. That's how crazy. It happened during the Black Friday where hundreds and thousands of people were shot dead in the street while they were protesting. And this was 3 months before, 4 months, because he left in January 17th, right? That's when he got the plane and left the country. Then February, that's when Ruhollah came back to with France and all that. But so you're telling me that there were some other forces who were so powerful that they were heavily armed that they shut people down to show that the king has lost control and needed to go.
Exactly.
I'm finding it very hard, but go on.
I don't mind, and I agree. I don't blame you for not finding it hard. If the king wanted to kill Iranians, he could have done it like this. He didn't. He could have kept the power and keep unaliving as many Iranians as he needed it just to keep in power. However, he had seen what's going on, and he had seen where the coup d'etat is taking it and how he tried too soon to get to the power that he had. And he left Iran before Iran becomes another Iraq or another Libya.
Yeah.
He knew if more, and he knew if he even tries to kill Khomeini, they will make him into a saint that will be mourned and will be prayed to and will be worshipped.
Is that why he exiled him?
That's why he exiled him. And when he left, and before he leaves, he realized that it doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter how he tries to make the people of the country aware of, like, hey, look. We are in a situation that if I leave, you guys will become under the regime that will not thrive and would only destroy this country. And he was even asked whatever happens to Iran if Islamists, again, not Muslims, Islamists and their mujahideen and their Marxist ideas gets to power. And one of the things he said was, country will go back 50 years all the way back. It will go past instead of going forward. And he was not wrong. Since the revolution happened and he left and he died like a year later with cancer.
Yeah.
When it started to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it all started at the moment King left and Khamenei came back. A month into the revolution and those agendas and propagandas thinking that the revolution has taken place.
They got killed, yeah.
There was the women's movement that many of them had even the pictures of the king. And if you search it up, it will come up. The pictures of the king, and they wanted the king to be back. And they were against the mandatory hijab.
Yeah, the al-Fakta something that the cleric guy promised. I mean, he came in, he said, hey, we're not going to make it Islamic. Then then he made it Islamic. Fucking hell.
Make it more relatable to the time we are now. 1979, a plane that was holding a British Prime Minister who used to touch Khomeini's hand, then touch Iranian people's hands, just to make them believe, oh, he's a big guy. Okay? But the same people who took him with a plane to Tehran in 1979, the same thing is happening now to New York with Mamdunu, that guy.
Yeah.
In New York. Where the biggest, most Christian day in the United States, he goes to a mosque and he starts telling everybody that I want to make transport free. I want to make a lot of costs come down and give you guys a better life. The moment he gets elected, he starts talking about Sharia law. The moment he gets elected, the subway prices are going up. And I'm like, I never wanted to live in New York, but Frank Sinatra would be ashamed and embarrassed to call himself a New Yorker, since that is Captain Zorro Mahmoudi is now the mayor of that city.
Yeah.
Now, Iran is going to happen to New York if they don't stop it. Because when the Ayatollah came in and he gave all the promises and all the feelings of like, yes, I will give you this, I will give you that, I will give you free electricity, free oil, free gas.
Yeah.
It didn't take him long until they started the war.
Yeah.
And the war with Iraq happened.
Yeah, the
and
Iraq-Iran.
This is something people don't know. Even though Iraq and Saddam Hussein really tried to destroy Iran, twice called for a ceasefire, but Khomeini didn't want the Iranians to not be in the middle of the war, because after the revolution, if there was no war with Iraq, after the revolution, Iranians would have not been weakened so much to, this is how I'm going to say it, Iranians got so busy to fight in Iraq's war that we forgot who's controlling the government.
Yeah, I mean,
and that is the exact reason
that's why the politicians use
that the IRGC and Khomeini's government kept the war going, even though Saddam Hussein asked for ceasefire twice. Like the countries, none of the borders were touched. Every side were back in their own side, and it was all like clean. Nothing was done. Nothing was taken as from anyone. And Saddam was like, "Hey, Khomeini, I'm done. Let's just finish this." And he's like, "No, I am Khomeini, and I will say."
But you have to see what Saddam. But then you have to see what Saddam Hussein did to the Kurds, and I'm not a big fan of the.
I know what he did.
I'm not a big fan of who the Khomeini, but Saddam Hussein needed to be inflicted a lot of pain. It is a shame that United States was giving weapons to Saddam Hussein, which was later being branded as mass weapons of destruction, which was given by fucking America. It's like, how the fuck? They gave him weapons, then they're like, hey, he has the weapons, let's go topple him. America, man.
The same weapons that they gave him and Saddam used on the Kurdish, which were chemical weapons.
Yeah, chemical weapons, yeah. Mass weapons of mass destruction. Whatever. Go on.
The people who were affected by the chemical weapons, who were Iraqi Kurds, who were Persian Kurds, and who were even just Iranians who lived close to the border in Khuzestan province. We still have people who are affected by the chemical weapons that they were used against them decades ago.
Yeah, but those weapons were American weapons given by America to defeat the Iran.
Yeah,
it's insane how this works.
It's just crazy.
And then the later went. Go on.
And people don't know about this. Even though how bad Saddam was. When I was 13, 14, I was still in Iran, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, I found a video. Would you like to see Saddam's torture videos to our soldiers?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, Saddam used to record it so he can make other Iranian soldiers afraid." Man,
damn!
I was 13 when I started watching or being like exposed to torture videos by Saddam Hussein towards Iranian and Kurdish people.
Yeah,
man,
yeah, it was really bad.
Oh.
It's bad what these guys did. Saddam Hussein was insane, and it's crazy that the Americans had a part to do with it, and then later made a fake war to go into toppling him, which obviously later obviously there's no weapons of mass destruction because there was never any, but the goal was to get in. But the last question here, do you think the Iranian people were portrayed by the Western government, and if so, which I think yes, how did they, from what time points? Because here's why I'm asking this, right? And it's important I give this context too, is because Mohammed Mossadegh was in, they toppled Mohammed Mossadegh by CIA and obviously and the British intelligence MI5 which toppled Mossadegh because he wanted to nationalize the oil and kick out the British petroleum out, which obviously they brought back the Shah. He wasn't away. He wasn't really gone, but it was just, he was just on the side, leaving Mossadegh to do his thing. But they brought him with ultimate power, and they built him, Savak, which was a secret intelligence police built by the Mossad and the CIA for him to make sure he consolidate as much power. So you can tell that they're working together now, the West and the Shah. But then later on, 10 plus years later, they basically sided with somebody else.
They did.
So talk to me, bro. The betrayal. Do you think that might happen here? Because now you see Trump is not talking as much about the Iranian people. Is more to finish their objective of war. But I thought the only reason that they go into war was to free the Iranian people. And,
objective will happen, and it'll happen. The thing is, Trump really likes to keep everybody confused. That's one of his ways of his psychology, or the way he approaches stuff. And
you think?
One of the in my opinion, one of the reasons he's saying this is because a lot of people are in the globe are ridiculously siding with the IRGC more and more. And the only reason for them to be siding with the IRGC is because Trump and Netanyahu are the ones who are like attacking them. And they are the same people who have never said a single word of my people suffering, man.
Yeah, true.
The thing is, their one-sided selective support, it doesn't mean anything at all. I say something about the what is it called? Prince Andrew got arrested.
Yeah, King Charles' brother. Yeah,
a specific list. He got arrested.
Yeah.
Somebody.
It was later released after 12 hours. Yeah, so I wouldn't call it arrest. He's back in his big mansion.
It was enough for them to know that Trump can put handcuffs on anybody he wants.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah, he has. Trump hasn't done much when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein. Not many people have been arrested, but for the UK government, yes, we've tried a little bit.
Yeah. And the second person was Peter Mandelson, was in the British government and was really helpful to IRGC. They were trying to stop the rescue mission, and they both got arrested. I don't know where they are now, but after that, the rescue mission started. And with the objectives right now, with it becoming more people being trying to become pro-regime, and they're not even Iranians. And all they say is, hey, they want your oil. Hey, they want your oil. Hey. We know they want the oil, man. We Iranians know.
Yeah, it's something. They have to get something.
We don't need the oil. The thing is, we'd rather US has it than China and Russia and all the communist countries. Because at least the communist countries trying to keep the IRGC in power. And IRGC, the only thing it does, it's killing Iranians for being Iranian. 95% of the people in the power of the IRGC, they are not even Iranian. They are Iraqi descent, Afghani descent, Syrian descent. They are not even Iranian. And how we have to be fighting it? The thing is, we are not, Iranians are not pro-Trump in a way to say, oh, whatever Trump is doing in his life is correct. No. It's a misunderstanding. We are grateful to Trump for the people and the targets that he eliminated, because so many of us have memories of our families being hurt by these people. And
I'm saying specifically, sorry to cut you short here because we're running out of time, but I'm loving this conversation, right? I wouldn't mind doing it again. Let's do it in real life next time, since we're both in Manchester. You can come over here. So the reason why I'm putting this is because Trump has not publicly shared any support to Reza Shah Pahlavi. He's been very blurry. Last time he spoke about him, he said he's a nice guy, but he's, not many people know him on the ground, which is not a good take. And then when Trump is asked about the plan for mission, it's saying about nuclear weapons. He's saying, hey, they're gonna do a deal. They might do a deal. So if they do actually get a deal done, that means the IRGC stays in. So what's going on? What about the Iranian people? Because that's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm worried about. You know, enough to go on.
I really appreciate your passion, and you're a human, man, and I love you for that.
I appreciate
you. You can speak from the heart, and you speak for humanity. I've never seen you take sides, and I've never seen you take any agendas to yours except what is for humanity. And I admire you for that so much.
Always appreciate you, bro.
One of the things is in political situations, I have to be wary with this. In political situations, names cannot be thrown out of the window just as easily as if we can just say it right now. When somebody, Trump or King Reza Pahlavi, or Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, if I want to be technically right now.
Yeah.
Part, he's our king.
Yeah.
Technicality, he's the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi.
Yeah, Crown Prince, yeah.
At the moment, if anybody keeps talking too much about his presence and his leadership in Iran for the future prosperity of Iran, it'll become the talk of the day, and it'll become the trendy word of the mouth for the opposing agendas of Iranian freedom people that, oh, wait, the Westerners are putting another clown. The Westerners are putting another puppeteer. Westerners are putting somebody else on. And to make the people of the world understand that it's not Trump or Netanyahu or Americans or Israelis who want to put anybody up, is the Iranian people who are calling consistently with determined resilience that we want the leadership of King Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi.
But you understand, in politics, endorsement matter more than appearance of how many people are supporting you. Because the reason why Trump won is because how many influencers, how many big people endorsed him. Elon Musk, all these big guys, from all over the world endorsed him. And these guys have millions and millions of followers. These people, influencers, small influencers with millions of followers. Trump. There was big endorsement, and that matters. And the fact that you guys have not received the endorsement, and it has nothing to do with nukes. It has nothing to do with any sort of weapons. Hey, we just want to get rid of nukes. No, there's not been any sort of endorsement from Israel and when I mean Israel, I mean Benjamin Netanyahu government, and I mean, and when I say Trump, I mean, the Trump administration. They've not been a huge endorsement for the Iranian people, but there's been a lot of endorsement for war against these weapons or these what you call it, the regime, or maybe the nukes. And that is my concern. So what if they solve these nuclear weapons, and let's say the IRGC are like, all right, let's get to talking, and then they talk just like they did in June, and then they stay back in. What happens then? Because that means the IRGC will just regroup, finger another one, and just consolidate power, and nothing changes. Are you worried about that? Is there any sort of worries towards that?
If I'm honest, I'm not so worried about it. You are correct, however, about the endorsement and how Trump or naming of the support. And in my opinion about the first matter is, before, even though Trump has just mentioned Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi's name once, maybe twice, and not talked about him too much.
Twice, yeah.
Now, just with that little bit of a sentence, a lot of our opposing agendas, who are now saying no to war, they are using it already to say, oh, the West is putting another puppeteer on top to do the dirty work for them. And that's why I say, yeah, go on.
The reason why I'm bringing that up is because how Ruhollah Khomeini got in is because he got heavy endorsement from almost all the Western countries, including France was flying him out, Britain was helping him, United States CIA were hugging him. They brought him in. And for that to happen, and we are basically in the same situation where, Crown Prince Reza Shah Pahlavi is in the United States of America. He needs basically same kind of Operation Ajax. He needs exactly the same thing. That's literally what we need. And for those people who are wondering what is Operation Ajax, that was the operation that was launched by CIA to topple Mossadegh.
Mossadegh, yes. We thank you, CIA, for doing that to Mossadegh. I can say easily, we have Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
That are speaking strongly about this matter and the situation.
Yeah.
To a point, Senator Graham held the flag of the Lion and Sun next to Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi.
Sick.
And one of the very first prime minister in Europe, of any countries in Europe, of Sweden, has already given his vote already to Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi to be the speakman of the Iranian nations in the House of Parliament in Europe. Now, with him being Copenhagen, Denmark, Denmark will be coming the second, as Denmark is now the first country who, to the news I've received, I could be mistaken, but to the news I've received, the flag of the IRGC has been toppled down, and the flag of the Lion and Sun has been raised in the embassy of the Iranian embassy in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Even though the numbers are few right now, I can only see it as a natural occurrence, just like what you said about, and you mentioned about the Western's politicals and a few puppets taking sides with the Khomeini back in the day. However, it did take him time, because one thing we have to remember is Khomeini's and his name and all these games didn't happen in a week or 2 weeks. It happened around a decade of time.
Yeah, true.
If not. And he found more, and because more people got scared of losing money because of Shah of Iran for the oil contracts.
The oil contract. It's called the Gulf something. That when everything kind of like tanked, it was like
1999 when it was supposed to change, and King Mohammed Reza Pahlavi was going to. Man, you'll find this word interesting, but I'll talk about this topic, rest of it later. But just a sentence.
Yeah. Just talk later. Yeah, go on.
Beautiful reserved bank of central bank was not happy with the price of the oil. But that's for another topic for a whole another day. We get into that. It's gonna.
Let me guess. United States was there. It's almost. I like America, man. I really do. But they just sometimes I would like to see like a country falls without their involvement. It will be cool. Yeah. Almost everything, almost all the countries, America is kind of like involved in some way.
Always.
It's like, hey, come on, CIA, take a break. At least just take a break, man. Holiday pay for staff. Come on. But no, they don't take a day off.
There won't be any holiday money.
Nothing. But Aaron, it's been a pleasure, man. Is there anything else that we didn't cover? A message to the people, a message to the Iranian people that you would like to send? It's cool. I'm gonna find somebody so you can come on and debate them. Maybe next week. But yeah,
as long as they don't want to come at me and like.
Oh no! I'll get somebody who yeah, I'll definitely get content creators or people who are already been doing this for a while, not some random guy who are very emotionally fucked where they don't want to disagree with people.
Nico or Pico or I'm call them Pikachu. Like Pikachu, it's Nikachu. I'm gonna call them.
Yeah, I guess
if he has rate me, then let him
sneaky. Do. Yeah, for sure. But any message to the Iranian people who are watching us, and we'll get this clipped up, and we'll of course get this video everywhere. Talk to me.
To everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. My big love and shout out to Baraka Amuri. Your great work, your great determination to be the voice for anyone, not just Iranians, not just Palestinians, not just the Christian Nigerians or natives in England. You are a voice of anyone who is a voiceless, and I admire you for that. And a message for our people who have tuned in tonight with us is, if you don't know much about Iran, we Iranians are always open to answer the questions. Either if you want to take it emotionally or logically, we're open to the debates. And we're always open to debates peacefully. Just message us and we talk about it. Thank you for tuning in. And for the people who are Iranians around the world, I know it's tiring. I know it's been a long time, other than the decade and these past few weeks, day after the other, week after the other. We cannot give up. We cannot give up. To you, my Persian Iranian sister and brother, from north, south, west to the east, Kurdish, Baluchi, and from all of us, this fight will end. We are in the really important moments to make history for the next generation to come, for the generation Z and X to come and rebuild Iran to its prosperity, to its great future, for them, the future kids, and the neighboring countries and Europe. Because once Iran is free, the beautiful poetry of the world will get back to the world. And keep on strong, because with the leadership of King Reza Pahlavi, we shall move towards a prosperous government. Because even though my voice and my vote is King Reza Pahlavi, in his own words, he is only transiting the government towards a secular government who is good for the nation and for the world. We all will have a choice. Once the IRGC is gone, then we will make the strong choice. And mine is King Reza Pahlavi and Javid Shah forever and ever. Thank you for tuning in. I love you guys so much, and keep safe wherever you are.
Aaron, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you in the back studio. Let's just end this. I'll talk to you in the back studio. But hey, folks, if you're new to the channel, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Without further ado, hand to the head salute. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you so much. Thank you. Every single day, we're being fed a narrative designed to keep us distracted, divided, and dependent. But real winners, you and I, we don't outsource our thinking. We seek for the truth, we demand clarity, and we want the facts with no filters. That's why this platform exists, not to tell you what to think, but to give you the tools so you can think for yourself. While traditional medias are always playing the same predictable game, chasing clicks, protecting donors, and avoiding the tough questions, but we do the opposite. As you already know, we do the opposite. We question everything, we challenge everyone, and we go straight to the source. But here's the reality though. Being independent isn't cheap. If you want a media that isn't bought, then you have to start supporting the media that cannot be bought. And that happens to be us. Duh. Because we don't take orders from corporations, we don't bend to politicians, we don't adjust our message to fit the advertisers. Our loyalty is only for one person, and that is you, the audience, who actually cares about truth, who actually cares about transparency, accountability. And I need your help to keep that going. For as little as £5 a month, you can keep this machine spinning and you can keep the accountability alive, because that is something that we're lacking in the UK. So if you're tired of being talked down to, if you're tired of being manipulated, if you're tired of feeling like every headline is designed to push an agenda, then help us, join us, because the future belongs to the people who think for themselves. And we're building a platform that empowers exactly that. So support us. Support the independent media, support the real journalism that we're doing here, and of course support the truth, not the noise. Please go to the link in the description and support the channel. Thank you so much.